Hey, welcome. So, every single driver has had that moment, right? You pull up to an intersection, and for a split second, you hesitate. Who goes first? Well, today we are going to build a super simple but really powerful mental model to answer that question every single time. And just so you know, everything we're about to cover is based on the fantastic lessons from driving instructor and traffic education expert Ari Zografos. All right, let's get into it. Think about a chaotic, busy intersection. It can feel like a mess of signals and intentions, but there's one thing that cuts through all that noise. This very idea that an officer is the absolute ruler is your first step to mastering the road. Why? Because their command is the final word, period. So here's our game plan. We're going to walk down a really clear hierarchy I like to call the pyramid of priority. We'll start at the very top with that absolute ruler, then work our way through signals and signs, and wrap up with the most basic rule for when there's nothing else to go on. It's a logical flow that's going to make your decisions on the road simple and, most importantly, correct. Okay, this is the core concept, and it's incredibly simple, but so important. Just picture traffic rules like a pyramid. Any rule at a higher level automatically cancels out everything below it. So a traffic light beats a stop sign, sure, but a traffic officer, they beat them all. Once this hierarchy clicks for you, you'll never feel confused at an intersection again. And there it is, the whole pyramid in one shot. This is our map for the next few minutes. From the top down, you've got the officer, an emergency vehicle with its lights and sirens on, the traffic light, any road sign, and at the very bottom, the foundation of it all, priority from the right. So let's start at the very top of the pyramid. So this is the key takeaway. If a traffic officer is in that intersection directing traffic, they are the only thing you should be looking at. Forget the green light, forget the stop sign, forget everything else. They are in complete control of the situation. They are the boss. And you know, the signals are actually surprisingly simple. It really just comes down to their body language. If you see their side, like you're looking at their shoulder, that means you can go. If you're looking at their chest or their back, you stop. And here's a great tip. It doesn't matter if their arms are out to the side or down. Honestly, they might just be tired. It's their body's orientation that gives you the signal. Now, the one universal signal is when they raise a hand straight up in the air. That means stop for everyone who is approaching the intersection. Now, if you're already in the middle of it when they do this, don't panic. Your job is just to get through it and clear the intersection as quickly and safely as you can. So that's simple enough. But what about most of the time when there isn't an officer standing in the middle of the road? Well, that brings us down to the next level of our pyramid. Okay, so the next layers of authority are what you might call dynamic signals, things you see in motion. We're talking about emergency vehicles and, of course, the good old traffic light. This is such a critical point. An ambulance that's just driving normally is just another vehicle on the road. But the second those lights start flashing and the siren starts blaring, they have absolute priority over everything else. Traffic lights, stop signs, you name it. Your job is to pull over safely and let them pass. All right, the green light. Simple enough, right? Green means go. But what separates a good driver from a great one is that little bit of patience. Before you even think about hitting the gas, just take a quick glance left and right to make sure someone isn't racing to make it through on the last bit of their yellow light. That 1 second check can literally prevent a huge accident. Oh man, this is a rule we should all tattoo on our brains. We've all seen it happen. A driver gets the green, they pull into the intersection, but then traffic ahead stops. Now they're stuck in the middle, blocking everyone. Don't be that driver. If you can't clear the intersection completely, just wait. It keeps the whole system from grinding to a halt. Of course, sometimes technology fails us. There's a power outage, or the lights are just flashing yellow because of a malfunction. So when the signals go dark, we just move down to the next layer in our pyramid. So when the lights are out, we fall back on the good old-fashioned, reliable information that's posted on the side of the road, the traffic signs. They're the next authority in our pyramid. So how do you know if a sign is giving you priority? Well, first, if you see that yellow diamond sign, you're on what's called a priority road, so you have the right of way. Or even easier, if you can see that the cross traffic has a big red stop sign or a yield sign facing them, then you know you get to go. Just always proceed with caution. Okay, this leads us to the final, most basic scenario. An intersection with absolutely nothing. No officers, no traffic lights, no signs. Total clean slate. So, who goes first? This is where the most fundamental rule of driving comes into play. Think of this as the default setting for traffic. When every other signal is gone, the entire system just reverts back to this one simple, universal rule that every driver absolutely has to know by heart.
And here it is, plain and simple. In a completely unmarked intersection, the vehicle coming from your right gets to go first. It does not matter if they're turning left, turning right, or going straight. It doesn't matter what you're planning to do. You see a car on your right, you wait. It really is that simple.
But, and this is a really big but, this rule has some very important exceptions. If you are pulling out onto a road from, say, a private driveway, a parking lot, or a dirt road, you do not have priority. You must always yield to the traffic that's already on that main paved road. Okay, we've made it through the entire pyramid. Now let's just lock in all that knowledge with a few special cases that you're going to see all the time. This one isn't just a rule, you guys, it's a huge responsibility. At any intersection, the most vulnerable person there, the pedestrian, always, always, always has the right of way. Full stop. No exceptions.
Roundabouts can seem a little chaotic, but the rule is actually super straightforward. Think of the cars already in the circle as a flowing river. You have to wait for a safe gap in that river of traffic before you can merge in. You yield to the cars already circulating. And if you just need a really quick rule of thumb for turning, here it is. In general, turning right is a much simpler move. You're not crossing oncoming traffic, so you usually have priority. Turning left, on the other hand, almost always means you have to cross a lane of traffic, which is why you're the one who almost always has to yield.
And there you have it. That's the pyramid of priority, from the absolute command of a traffic officer all the way down to that simple rule of yielding to the right. Knowing this hierarchy doesn't just make you a better driver, it makes you a safer, more predictable one. And that's really the whole point, isn't it? So you might know who gets to go straight, but the real question is, are you sure you know when to turn?